Hello everyone, welcome back to ThoseYGOguys. I'm your host Alessandro. So, as of this weekend, the North American WCQ 2015 is happening. To those of you who are in the event, I wish you my best wishes to you. And to those of you who are not participating in the event, I hope you guys have been enjoying your weekend. Maybe you might be watching the live stream for the North American WCQ event, or you might be doing other stuff. That's fine. Um, that's great, but that's not what this entire video is going to be about. Recently, people have been posting up their banlist prediction videos and making guesses what Konami will hit, and it's interesting. I mean, I watched a few, not a whole lot of them, because let's be honest, not usually I take these bands prediction videos with, not too seriously, because, it's like people's best guess, and sometimes they could be correct, other times, not so much. So, one question that people have been wondering is, due to the OCG July ban list, people are wondering if TCG will pull the same move, like, say, no changes. I don't think so, because the meta has been pretty much about the same throughout almost the entire year span. Well, with a few changes here and there, like Satellite and Shadows were doing well in the earlier phase, and then kind of like earlier parts of the year 2015, they kind of faded off, and then when the April format starts, then there was an increased popularity for those decks. So it's like, but I mean, it's about the same decks. Like you tend to see like Clyforts, Burning Abyss, Shadows, Satellite, Necros. I mean, that's basically you tend to see at many competitive events nowadays. The next next question is, when will the next ban list drop? My best hunch is the ban list will take into effect after the South American WCQ 2015, on top of the European Championship WCQ 2015, which is, those two events are occurring at the same time during the 4th of July weekend. It would make no sense if you just release a ban list in between like the North American and then the South American and European Championship. I mean, that makes no sense. I mean, you're just making quite a significant change in different formats, so it would make no sense. So they're probably gonna let the new list kick into gear after those events have reached a conclusion. So I really don't like making predictions, because sometimes, I mean, let's be honest, even I cannot really take a strong guess whether or not Konami is going to do what I think they're going to do, because the ban list could be small, ban list could be a big one. I mean, it could be either or. I mean, many people thought that Konami won't do much with the April 2015 ban list, or they won't touch Necros decks at all on that list. And when they released the TCG April 2015 ban list, they actually did quite a bit and actually did hit Necros. So, I mean, you can't really assume that Konami can't do things, because we really don't know Konami. Konami is very unpredictable, pretty much. But I will give you my prediction, and at the end, maybe a little wish list on my part. But let's dive down to each of these competitive decks. So let's start off with Necros. I think this is the biggest deck that a lot of people have been talking about. And for good reason, because Necros have been winning almost every single humongous premier events like YCS. Yeah, pretty much YCS tournaments. So honestly, I think Necros will be the one deck that will get hit the hardest. I mean, there's no exception to that. Personally, I would like to see the Jin Summoner. I mean, let me see. See, Jin Releaser Ritual. I would like to see that thing gone for good, because that's personally, I'm not a big fan of the Jin Lock. I mean, of all the Necros decks, I mean, yeah, they do some pretty powerful plays and all that. And in a mirror match, it's kind of interesting, but the Jin Lock factor is what kind of kills off some interest in terms of the interest in the mirror match between Necros. And, you know, people will say, like, hypothetically there are outs to play the Jin, out of the Jin Lock. But the thing is like, it comes down to whether or not you have it or not. And setting up for the Jin Lock is not really that hard, considering the amount of cards that we have access to. A lot of people will say, like, oh, if they ban Jin Releaser Ritual, it'll hurt all these ritual decks, but let's be honest. I've seen a few ritual-based decks like Hero Perfection, Demise, Gishki, just to name, and maybe Relinquish. Very few ritual-based deck will actually play Jin, Releaser of Rituals. Because I don't recall Gishkis or Herald or even, what was the other one? Gishki, Herald, and Demise playing Jin Releaser Rituals. So, does that really hurt the ritual-based decks? Maybe not so much. And on top of that, let's say you have like a mirror match or two ritual-based decks clash in one single match, and one person gets their Jin Lock up and ready, and the other person could not draw into any answers to it. Would that be really fair to say that Jin is going to hurt ritual decks? So, like, I think the existent Jin is just what really makes people want to play cards that you don't really normally play in, like Book of Eclipse. Like, don't get me wrong, Book of Eclipse is not like the worst of all cards to play, but it's not like, if Jin wasn't a thing, would you still play Book of Eclipse in your main deck? I mean, let's just be honest here. I mean, that's one thing I would like to see gone. I mean, then they'll kind of branch a little bit further out with the Jin deck. I mean, Necros decks to begin with. So, that's one thing, but let's see. What else other people have been talking about? Necros of Unicorn. A lot of people have been talking about that card going to 1, which I do agree. I think this one has been the card that a lot of people tend to use, especially like the Necros of Kaleidoscope. The Kaleidoscope play was pretty significant when you just activate Kaleidoscope, put Arc Light from the extra deck as tribute payment to bring out Unicorn, and then you just search for another ritual monster due to Arc Light's effect. But not only that, Unicorn also has the secondary effect where you can discard Unicorn from your hand to the graveyard and add one, I think it was Necros Ritual Monster, I believe it is. Target one Necros monster, Necros card from your graveyard and add to your hand. So, I mean, mean, it's like, so hitting Necros of Unicorn will hurt the longevity of the Necros deck, which is pretty good, and also indirectly hit Kaleidoscope in a way. So it kind of comes down to like, how do you want to play your Necros of Unicorn? You want to burn it to ritual summon him through Kaleidoscope play, or do you want to hold on to it to fetch back any necessary Necros monster or Necros card that you want back in your hand? Who knows? So that one I agree. People also talk about the Manju and Senju getting hit. The Senju one, I mean, I think that's a little bit to the extreme. I mean, because Senju only search for like ritual monster. And if you're gonna say that, then another person, I don't know, from the internet will say like, if you hit Senju, then why not hit like Sonic Bird, like that one monster from Magic Ruler set. That's basically when it's normal summon or I think flip summon, I believe it is. And then it searches like ritual spell cards. So I mean, it kind of makes no sense when you just say hit Senju and then like Sonic Bird's like a 3. So it's like, Manju, on the other hand, you got this option like either or, whichever piece you're missing. So that I can understand a little bit more, but the Senju, not so much. Let's see what else I've been hearing. Then people talk about like the Necros cycle, which, I mean, a lot of the Necros ritual spell cards, they're pretty strong and they have their own unique ways. And cycle, one thing you can assure about Necros of cycle is the fact that even if a certain Necros monster is in the graveyard, that doesn't mean like you're out of the clear, because they can bring it back by means of either Necros of Unicorn, like I mentioned earlier, or the Necros of Cycle, which you can just tribute the monsters from your hand or field and just ritual summon one Necros ritual monster from your hand or graveyard to your side of the field. So that is one thing that I can understand a little bit more, which is more of the power play more so. Outside of that, I think that's about it for Necros that I mentioned. Let's move on to Shadows. For Shadows, I don't think they're gonna get any really hard hit treatment like OCG treatment at all. Like, I have a friend who, back when I was at college, we were discussing, he was wondering like how bad would they hit Shadows, and like looking at the OCG list, and you know, I think it's wrong to compare like OCG with TCG, because you know their meta is so much different from ours. So it's I think they might gonna get touched by the ban list for Shadows, but it will be like much lesser extent than what the OCG have done, because the OCG, in case you guys have no idea, they banned El Shaddai Construct. They put El Shaddai Fusion at 1. I think Sinister Shadow Games at 1, or is it 3? I don't remember. But that kind of gives you an example of how big of a hit they did. On top of that, you also put Curry Bandit, Armageddon Knight, Mathematician at 1. So I mean, there's so much different from ours. There are 2 possible candidates that could get hit for the Shadows. You're gonna either gonna be El Shaddai Construct or El Shaddai Fusion. I'll be surprised if they hit both, considering they didn't really do a whole lot, but it'd be kind of silly to just ignore them as well. Of all my experience I play against Shadows, Construct is the most annoying one. It's the most troublesome monster of all. And plus, it is the most common El Shaddai fusion monster that's been fusion summoned. Not saying it's a bad thing, it's just, Construct is good. So if they do hit Construct, that will indirectly affect, like, the other El Shaddai monsters. That will increase the more reliance on, like, Winda, El Krista, I think. The water fusion, I can't really pronounce his name right. And no one cares about Wendigo. It's like the black sheep of the El Shaddai family. And Shikanaga as well. So that's gonna be interesting how they're gonna do things. Or El Shaddai fusion, which you can dodge things because it is a quick play fusion spell card. So that's pretty interesting ways to think about. So that's kind of like my take on. People mention, I remember there were a few people mentioned like they might hit Star Saras, but honestly, looking at the entire format, I'm very underwhelmed by Star Saras. Star Saras haven't really done much in this format, and I don't think there's any reason to hit them actually. So it's like, So there's no real point in it. But moving along, let's start off with Satellite. This one's been the one archetype that I kind of had to rack my brains around, because not only you have to focus on like hitting the meta decks, but also Konami also wanted to promote the newer products that's coming out for future set. And as you guys know, if you look into the Clash of Rebellion set, they're going to release a new archetype known as the Ignites, which is a normal monster pendulum based archetype. So it's a normal pendulum based archetype. So the most common hits I've been hearing about, well, prediction for Satellite hits, people have been saying like hit Rhoda to 1 or so. I don't know. That one is a toss-up because that'll be kind of unfair for the other warrior-based decks that don't have a searcher. So it's like, Other people for the Cleave Forts, which I will mention a little quickly, said hit Summoners are, but again, Ignites, they're normal monsters, so it's like, So, it was a kind of a toss-up, because now I'm kind of like thinking a little harder. People mention Altair, but then, I know that you could do like Altair fetch Denev gets Altair, but then if you look back into past decks, you got like summon Wolfbark, get a level 4 Beast Warrior, overlay into Tiger King, get Tinky, activate Tinky that you have not activated, assumingly, get Wolfbark to your hand. So it's like, there's no really difference. It's just, the archetype is different, but how they achieve things, not that far different. Plus, Wolfbark, Dianea, all the other monsters that act like Altair, well, not really Altair, but, act similarly in a sense. They're at 3, so it's like, So the only card I will have to think about of hitting is, Stellar Knight, Trevor, or I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Basically, when he's summoned, you just bounce a whole lot of cards back into the owner's hand, which then lets you really use your Call of the Hornets and so on and so forth, which is kind of like setting up a loop in a sense. Which, in the past, Konami don't like. Konami as a whole, they don't like loops that much. So, Trivia is probably my best prediction of hit. Outside of that, I don't know what else to say. Let's see. Cleave Forts. People mention, like I said, Summoner's Art. Not very likely they're going to hit it. Other people also mention lose one turn. Not gonna happen, especially now due to rules after the 150th YCS, where the R&D of the Konami, the people who designed the cards, they want to re-evaluate the text and try to make it where it's similar to skill drain. So until we get something like that out, I doubt they're going to hit lose one turn. But I mean, if they do hit, well, one less floodgate to worry about. But yeah, but to be honest, I think Clyde Ford, they got hit the hardest from the April ban list. So honestly, I think they're out in the clear. So really, then we have Burning Abyss. I don't know, because like the first half of the format, Burning Abyss haven't really done a whole lot, and then recently they're starting to, attention has been spiking up even more because due to successful tops for Burning Abyss, especially winning at the ARG event and so on and so forth. But I don't know. Burning Abyss, I could see, could get a little hit or no hit at all. So it varies. I don't know. But I think that's about it. Ritual Beast, I don't think Konami will hit the decks, especially when it's like on a low profile. So I think that can get away unscathed. I guess that's all for the meta deck wise. Honestly, I don't think the rest outside of those big huge competitive archetypes, I think the rest are fine. Some general thoughts, like my wish list. Obviously, if you have watched my earlier videos, Konami needs to do something about Royal Magical Library. That thing cannot be at 3. That, I think you've been hearing a lot of people saying that it's really dumb, like how it makes an impact on ignites and what was it? Chicken Race FTK. So honestly, I really don't see why Royal Magical Library remains at 3. Especially since Konami have been hitting decks that promotes or certain cards that promote FTKs, like they did with Morphing Jar and Morphing Jar number 2 for the Jackpot 7 FT or Troll like deck, or what was it? Gen X Ally Birdman and Divine Wind of Miss Valley for the Blaze Phoenix Heartbeat Dancer combo FTK thing. Let's see. What else do I want to see? Zactor Hornet, I think it can go to 3. Dragonfly is the real OTK enabler. Hornet, we have a lot of cards that done a lot of popping. Raigeki is a generic one. Other cards have their own archetype specific destruction like cards, like Burning Abyss with Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. Ritual Beast with Ritual Beast Steeds. Honestly, and plus, Inzectors, if you look at them as a whole, they really don't have really big, huge, beefy monsters. So having a Hornet at 3 would not really mean that you're gonna see Inzector destroy the format. Now if Dragonfly goes to 3, then that'd be a different story. But Hornet to 3, I think it wouldn't make too much of a hit. Looking at the Forbidden section, there's like a small portion that I think it has no business being there. Like, Wind-Up Carriers and Mighty. What has Wind-Up been doing this entire time, Konami? Seriously. It's been like a year, or maybe even more than a year. Like, what significant impact is Wind-Up going to do? Like, if you're really worried about wind-up Hunter as a mighty thing, just ban Hunter. Hunter has nothing to do with wind-ups at all. I play wind-ups beforehand. I don't think Hunter has much to do. Like, ever since Zenmai went to 1, people dropped the Hunter. And plus, I mean, Shockmaster's banned still in TCG, so I don't see why not. And that's just a general example of what I think about. Dragon Ravine, that thing can go to 3 now. 2 or 3. Honestly, especially for Red Eyes decks, like, people think, like, Dragon Ravine will help all base of Dragon-based decks or so, but honestly, the only deck-wise that utilized Dragon Ravine effectively were Dragonities and Dragon Rulers, but Dragon Rulers, due to their poor design way, they got banned. So, I mean, Red Eyes, I mean, you could say, like, they can abuse it, but since Red Eyes, they've been focusing a lot on normal monsters, wouldn't it even make sense if you play Dragon Shrine? Because with 1 card, you get to dump 2 monsters. Whereas Ravine, you have to play Ravine, then you have to discard a card from your hand. So that's 2 cards you're eating up from your hand to dump 1 monster. So, which one would I pick? Shrine that dumps 2 monsters with a price of 1 card from my hand, or a Ravine that takes about 2 cards out of my hand for having 2 monsters in the graveyard. Well, assuming the 1 card that you discard for a Ravine is a monster. I mean, I'll take the Shrine over Ravine for Red Eyes base. Let's see what else. Monster Gate, I would not be surprised that it's going up in numbers, because knowing Konami, they're going to promote Infernoid soon. So that's pretty obvious. Let's see. Let me see. I kind of do like to see Wind Up Magician to go up numbers as well. This is kind of like my wish list. Let's see. Yu-Gi Gear. I would like to see that thing go up in numbers. Deep Sea Diva and or Atlantean Dragoons. That'd be kind of interesting. I believe more in Diva, like potentially go to 3, because who plays Diva nowadays? And it'd be kind of nice to see Diva once more. Dragoons probably at the most 2, but if Dragoons remain at 1, well, oh well. I would like to see like either Archfiend or Inferni Archfiend or Inferni Barrier go up in numbers, but I think that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So, let's see. Sandstorm can go 3. I don't think that's gonna do a whole lot. Torgai, I think, is gonna stuck at 1. Let's see, what else is there? Let's see. I mean, they could hit Necros or Branak 2-1. Wouldn't be surprised. Who knows? Legendary 6 Samurai Shiina can go to 3. Chaos Order can go to 3. Dragodia. I mean, Gores is at 3. Still, people don't play 3 Gores. Dragodia. Honestly, I don't see why they keep it at 2. Charger Light Brigade. I would not be surprised if they bump this up to 3, because then it kind of sets up the idea of, hey, they want to promote Infernoids indirectly, well, also helping Lightsworn, so who knows. Which is kind of funny that Lightsworns are almost at full power. That before the newer support comes in. Let's see. I would like to see. What else I would like to see? Thunder King Rao up in number would be kind of cool. Same goes for Rescue Rabbit. I mean, there are a lot of other cards I can say, but I don't know. And looking at the time of this video, it's going out pretty long enough, so leave a comment. Oh yeah, before I close this off, I think Instant Fusion is gonna remain at 3. I know people are not gonna like it because of how powerful Norden is going to be, especially how strong Instant Fusion Norden is. Really a pretty powerful combo, but I don't think they're going to do that preemptively. So that's kind of like, they're going to do similar to what they did with the Galaxy Eyes Dark Matter Dragon with Dragon Rulers. They're going to keep them around, and then like, so the 10s, they're going to release the 10s, Instant Fusion will still be at 3, October list comes in, Instant Fusion going to get hit to 1. That's probably the most likely prediction I can see. Outside of that, I mean, I know I've been going out pretty long enough with this video. If I missed something, or if you disagree with some of my choices or so, please leave a comment down below. Remember, this is like my opinion and all that. So, like I said, I mean, you don't have to take this seriously. But I am very interested what you guys think about what I said. If I missed something, please let me know in the comment section down below. And hopefully we'll get the ban list up soon. Hopefully we'll get word of it maybe next week or so. So, without further ado, I'm your host Alessandro, and I hope you guys a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.